Hey guys, so someone asked me for some handstand advice, so I thought I would share with you my regular morning routine, which is some strengthening for the wrist and for the fingers, as well as some basic handstand drills. So you can start right away with some just warming up your wrists. It could be some hands together circles, it can be hands apart circles. You can kind of hold it in the crease. You can extend this way. You can, if you want, put a little bit of load on your hands in a plank position, shift your weight side to side. The main thing is just make sure you're working your flexion and your extension. So this would be extension and this would be your flexion. Okay, so just don't be lazy and do this because it feels good. You really got to work both ways. You don't need to do much, maybe like 2-3 minutes. So once you're done with that, then you'll go into your first working slash warm-up set. So you're gonna have your fingertips on the ground. You can be in a plank, you can be kneeling. Any way works. It's just gonna make the intensity greater or lesser. So straight arms, shoulders forward. You're gonna come up on your fingers and then down. Okay. Depending which set this is, it might go harder or easier. So on my first set, I'll kneel on my knees and I'll squeeze my butt. If I do more than one set, so if I really want to work on this, do 2 or 3 sets, I'm going to come up on my toes. I can straddle my stance, so wider stance makes it easier. And then again, just come up on my fingertips. But I don't want it to be like too like, right? I want it to be smooth, so come up, relax. Okay, so if you find yourself like having to pop yourself into position, that's a little bit too hard. All right, so you can do about 10 to 20 reps of those while you rest. Again, do some rotations, just relax. Keep it simple. You can even hold the squat position or you can kneel. Okay? Gives you a little stretch in the morning. It's nice. Okay, so we worked our pushing strength. Now we're going to work our static strength. It's going to be the same position. So we're going to be up on our fingertips. I'll do it from the sideways. And you hold. So it's a little bit easier. As you can see, I'm doing this in a plank and I'm not really struggling too much with this. You want to have good weight distribution on the kind of your fingers, so you don't want to be too much on one finger. Again, you hold about 10 to 20 seconds, then you relax. Just a bit of wrist rotations. You can open up, close your fingers. Just keep it simple, relax. You can even stretch something else, like do some leg swings or some hamstring stretches. Next, you're gonna work on your fingertips. So, right, work this. Now we're gonna work this. So you're gonna press your fingertip on the ground. You can have your thumb on the ground. And it's the same principle. So if you want, you can do a plank, you can do kneeling. This one I find a little bit easier to hold. So I'm just gonna hold like this. Keep even pressure on my fingers, shoulders down. Hold this. If I can't do it, again, I'm just gonna spread my feet or kneel. So once I'm done with that, I'm gonna relax again. And by the way, I usually do this in a circuit, so it's not like one set per exercise. The warm-up is in the circuit, but the rest is gonna be one set per exercise. Or doing multiple sets of one exercise in a row instead of a circuit. All right, so this is the less fun part. So we did this, we did this. Now we're gonna go right up on the fingertip. So it's not this part, it's right here. So this one is less fun. What you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of claw, make your hand into a claw, and you don't want your fingers to flex, so or to extend. I mean, so this one is hard, so it's fine if you do it a little bit easier. So find a position, hold it, make my fingers visible. And again, I find this really helps for handstand practice. It gives you kind of more options. Usually where I find I would fall over, now I can kind of control my fingertips. And your shoulders are so strong already. You do a lot of work with them, but not much with the fingertips. So it's really worthwhile. So once you're done with that is about like 3 to 5 minutes, depending how many sets you do. And it's great on its own, even if you don't practice handstands. That's fine. Oh yeah, we'll do one last one. I didn't do my flexors. Okay, so I have cheap little yoga blocks. You can use these to elevate your hands for the first few exercises. Again, it makes it a lot easier because of the elevation of the hands. Also, what I like to do these is wrist rolls. So what I have is just the edge of my hand. You don't even have to do it perfectly like this. You can do it on the ground if you want. So I just like this setup. So that way my wrist hangs, makes a bigger stretch instead of if I was here. But that's my personal preference. Again, you just have to find something that you like and that works for you. So from here I apply pressure, pull my knees back so I have some weight on my wrists, and then I'm just gonna flex into a fist position, and then I'm gonna let go, flex. I really enjoyed this one, but again, there's many variants of this. You can do so many. As long as it's not painful, it's not too much pressure. And if you want to kind of work your straight arm strength, that's a little bit more precise, but you can work on also keeping the crease of the elbow forward. So it's a little bit more appropriate for straight arm strength. But again, if you're a beginner in handstand, you don't have to worry about that. Just kind of warm up your wrists. A good quote I heard is, even if your wrists don't hurt, it's not the pain, but it makes your handstand practice much better and much more efficient. So I'm done with that. Next, I need a wall. So for the handstand practice, there's two ways to approach it. Stomach up against the wall or back up against the wall. I prefer stomach, even though I've been doing back for a lot of time being in a CrossFit context. Stomach up against the wall, it's a little bit more dangerous. You have to be able to cartwheel out of it. It's kind of like a safety measure. So practice some cartwheels if you have the chance. If not, I'll show you what I mean. So the first exercise is just kind of like a walkout, you would call it. So you want to press your stomach up against the wall. Where am I in here? So very simple. I want to straighten my body, keep it tight, press my stomach up against the wall or my chest, and then really reach up, stretch my body, push through the shoulders so my shoulders are active, and then hold for about 10 to 30 seconds, depending how many sets you do, what you're working on. So I forgot to mention, if you're a beginner or you're too scared, you don't have to be up against the wall. You just have to keep your body straight. So you could use the orange line as a reference point, have your hands further away from the wall, but still point your toes and still keep your shoulders active. You can have your head forward or up against the wall. Okay, so once you're done, again, this will be the cartwheel. But if you can't do the cartwheel, you just walk out. And that's for the first one. So it's not like the warm-up on the first part. You don't need to do it in the circuit. You're just going to focus on that. You're going to hold 10 to 30 seconds. You're going to stretch your wrists, relax, do whatever you're doing to catch your breath, and then do it again. So about 3 to 5 sets of those. And again, it's going to depend. You can practice this daily if your wrists can handle it. The more you practice, the stronger wrists you're going to have, but you're going to have to take care of them. So it's not something that's going to happen on its own. All right, so second and last basic handstand exercise. So you can do it your back up against the wall. I find it less efficient than your stomach up against the wall. For some reason, it works better for me. When I film myself, my position is way better when I do a stomach up against the wall. But it is scarier, and you're going to have to be able to cartwheel out of it, worst case scenario. So the way it's going to work out is you're going to be an arm distance away from the wall. So the way you do that is find a wall, arm distance, look at your feet. That's your reference point. That's where your hands are going to go. So I'm going to turn around. So technically my hands are here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up the wall. I'm going to keep my hands here and I'm going to stretch my leg up. My shoulders are active, just like on the wall. And then while I'm pulling the top leg back, eventually my wall foot is going to come up. And then I can come unite them. And if you're scared, you can just stick here, hold, shuffle. Hold, shuffle. Again, if you're really struggling or you're losing control, cartwheel out of it. All right. So that's basically it. You can do it back up against the wall. Like I said, I don't find my position is as nice. The main thing is you're not pushing away from the wall and finding your balance. You're pulling with the top leg. Eventually, you're going to reach that limit where you feel like you can't pull it anymore. But if you pull it just a little bit, your other foot is going to come off the wall. And then you have the choice. You either bring them in together or you leave them apart. Just find your balance. Come back, switch. Find your balance. Come back, switch, and just keep doing that. Again, you can do 3 to 5 sets. In the meantime, you can stretch your wrists. That's basically it. You can do that every day or every second day, or depending how much you want to practice. So have fun with that.